welcome everyone. So happy that you are here with me tonight for the Ashley Talks live podcast. Tonight I'm going to be speaking with you about three key elements that when you bring into your practice, your daily life routine, that they will help you increase your health and vitality. And you may wonder, why is this so important? Why would it be important for me, right? A lot of times I ask that question, why is what this person is talking about important for me? And so the answer to that question is because the vehicle that you're driving in, meaning the vehicle you live in, that is with you the rest of your life and transporting you through every phase of your life, every experience of your life, if that vehicle breaks down, then you don't get to serve in a really powerful way. If that vehicle gets tired and wore out, you don't serve in a really powerful way. And our whole reason for being is geared around service, around what we can bring to other people, to the world, in order to make a difference in the world. And so my journey and my passion is to help people feel energized, feel the vitality coursing through their veins so that their body is vibrantly healthy. And so they are balanced in body-mind complex, but more than that, you are in emotional balance and you're coming from your heart space. And so tonight, as we journey through this time together, I'm going to be sharing with you some ways that you can level up that energy that you feel you may have lost. Many times when we are going through each decade of our life, we think, wow, if I just had the energy I had in my 20s, then I'd be able to really push forward and do this. And the good news is you can have the energy you had in your 20s. Of course, it's going to feel different. You're in a body that is about a couple of decades more than that, probably. However, you can feel that energy. You can feel that you have the energy to do everything that you could possibly want to do. So tonight, I'd like to visit with you around your three brains. And I'm going to share my slides with you so that you can have a clearer picture and a clearer version of the notes that I'm sharing with you tonight. So stress is a big component. And if I was to ask you a question around what it is that keeps you from moving forward each and every day, what is the one thing that holds you back, so to speak? And we talk about patterns, we talk about beliefs, those kind of things. But is there something, and feel free if you're in the live audience tonight, feel free to answer the questions when I ask them. But what is the thing that keeps you from moving forward in your life? What seems to shackle you? Anybody?
Trying to figure out how to do things that I never worried about because my wife used to take care of all those things.
Yeah, so it's doing things that you don't know how to do.
Right.
And there's a learning process. Right. And have you found that in that learning process, there's a little bit of stress that goes with it?
I don't think I call it stress, but it's kind of frustrating.
Frustrating. So frustration is stress. Yes, it's just a very low level. So when we're looking at stress, fear, those kind of things, they are level 1 to level 10. And stress and fear go hand in hand. And a low level stressor or a low level fear is boredom. Frustration and irritation are right next to it. And worry, those can all be very vague and very slight. However, it's still in existence and it still handicaps us. And so tonight I want to share with you some ways that we can unhandicap you. But first, I'd like to thank a couple of my sponsors. One is Custom Fit Bra Company, that is a direct sales company. And for those women who find that they need support and help in this arena, then Custom Fit Bra Company could provide an answer for you there. And also Power Team International, who that program helps small business owners elevate their businesses and become financially independent and in the flow of stuff, right? And so thank you to my sponsors. And before we get rolling even further, I'd love to share my story, because I believe that my story will reflect a little bit for you on how I can help you. Would that be all right? All right, thank you. So I have been a personal fitness trainer since 1991. That was when my company BioBalance was born, just shortly after the birth of my first son. And it was an exciting time. I love personal fitness training. I had a beautiful array of clients to work with, both male and female, and I had some corporate accounts as well. And however, as that got rolling and I had my second child, shortly after I had my second son, I had the fear and anxiety hit me. And I had always been a worrywart as a child, but I had never experienced anything like this. And I did personal training during the day, but at night I moonlighted as I worked with a direct selling company, and they were having one of their big conventions in Dallas. And so I went to attend. I was one of the, I was a medium level leader. And so I wanted to attend to learn all that I could for my teams. Y'all, most of you know how that is. And so as I'm there, I'm having a great time. And it's time for me to go up to my room one evening. And so I go to push the elevator door button, and no one is around me. And I thought, I'm going to be all alone in that elevator. And that may not resonate with you or whatever, but for me, when I saw those elevator doors open, a childhood memory just bam, hit me. And I became paralyzed. I thought, I can't walk in there. My only thought was of when I was 7, 8 years old, we had taken a trip, a family vacation, and we were staying at this hotel that had, multiple floors, and we had to go up an elevator. Well, one of the elevators was not working. There was caution tape over it. And this little boy was standing outside and said, "Don't get on this elevator." My dad was just stuck in it for several hours. Well, as a young girl, I became scared. My subconscious mind stored all of that away to bring to the forefront when I am, how old was I? 26, 27 years old. I am going to step on an elevator, and all of a sudden this memory hits me, and I break out into anxiety, just nervousness. It was nervousness at this point. Well, I waited for people to show up. The elevator doors closed. I wait for a little bit, push that button again, elevator doors open, no one's there to join me. So what do? I take the stairs. I'm a personal fitness trainer, for crying out loud. I can handle this. This is no big deal. And so I just start going up those flights of stairs. I was on the 6th, 7th floor, something like that. And I'm just hot footing it up. And by the time I reach for that door and go to pull it open, bam, an anxiety attack slams into me. I had never experienced worry like this. This wasn't worry. This was death. I thought I was going to die. I thought I was going to have a heart attack right there. I had 2 young boys, 2 young babies. There's no way this can happen to me. I was up all night long with that attack. In fact, that anxiety attack did not leave me for over a year. I couldn't get rid of it for over a year. I tried everything. I did yoga. I meditated. I did everything I could think of. Wouldn't go away. It was sitting in as my best girlfriend, and she was not a best girlfriend. So I lived in this way for many years. And during that time, I learned some techniques, smelling baby powder, cleaning out a drawer to put things in order, counting to 100 and back again, and then backwards. I tried all sorts of techniques, meditation, and I got to where I could live with it, right? Where I could function. And I read to my boys every night at bedtime. That was the most soothing time for me. singing them songs, putting them to bed. That was the most calming part of my day. Well, about 6, 7 years later, I am heading to a client's place, going from one side of the airport to the other. I'm on the DFW tollway. And all of a sudden, a big one starts slamming into me again. And I thought, oh no, this will not happen again. And I remember that beautiful story. It's a Jesus's Miracles book that I read to my kids. And there was one story about the woman who spent all of her money on doctors in order to help her heal. She had a bleeding disease and no one could help her. And then she heard of Jesus coming through town. And she said, I'll go to him. And if you'll remember, she touches his robe and she's healed. Well, as I'm driving through the airport, I'm recalling that story and I'm thinking, hey, if it happened for that woman, it can happen for me. By golly, I believe that this doesn't belong to me. I believe that I am healed. And I remember crying out my what I wanted to have happen. And then I just left it and finished my drive to my clients. And when I drove up to their home, I realized the anxiety attack was completely gone. The anxiety was completely gone and it did not return. And I often wondered, okay, what was so different? I had asked many times to be rescued from this. What was so different this time? And that is what triggered my journey. That fueled me to discover what was that spiritual aspect of this, because I had so many clients who were feeling lost, who felt stressed, who hated their body, who were binge eating, overeating. They were doing anything that they could to sabotage the health and vitality of their body because they were in such pain. And as a physical therapist once told me, Ashley, the result of your pain is not physical. The result of our pain is spiritual. It's a soulful journey. And so I went on that discovery of the soul and the spirit, and how could I help my clients through this, through their own pain, and be healed, be rescued from it, and have the experience similar to mine. So I wrote a book, Join Me in the End Zone, in 2014, and that told the story of my story, and then also the story of clients and their journey through Embrace, Nourish, and Digest, the way that we can get back in sync with the mind and the body, the emotions, and the heart. And then I created a program called Armor Up. And in Armor Up, that is a coaching program that helps you to reclaim your life. Reclaim your life, the physical, the soulful, which is your mind, your heart, and your emotions, and the spiritual. Y'all, we are three-part beings, and we must care for each one of those. When I worked as a physical fitness trainer for years, it became so frustrating because we were only working on the physical, what they ate and how they worked their body out. That was not the full equation. It was so much more than that, because what creates our body dysmorphia, what creates our weight issues, what creates our eating issues and disorders, what creates our inability to manage money, what creates our lack of success in our businesses is not simple. It's not, because we typically want to put all the pressure on one thing, but it's never that. It's the full you. Your physical body, it is your mental, heart, and emotional body, and your spiritual body. Armor Up is the program that I highlight in most of my podcasts and talks, because I truly believe it is the answer, an answer that you could be looking for. And Armor Up is normally $19.97, but when you attend a podcast or a talk, then the price for you is only $9.97. And I'll give more details about that later, but I just wanted to give you a heads up that that program is highlighted. It is my middle program, there's also a level 1 when you come into work with me. It's called the Ultimate Health Breakthrough System. It's a digital e-course, and then the group coaching with Armor Up, and then also the one-to-one coaching as well. All right. So why is it most people don't sustain the goals that they achieve? Why is it? Would anybody like to answer that? Feel free to unmute yourself if you're here with me live. And why is it most people don't sustain the goals they achieve? Why do you think that is?
Self-doubt.
Self-doubt? Yes, that's a good one. That's a big one. The belief in ourselves, self-doubt, yes. And self-doubt can create patterns of behavior. And those patterns of behavior limit us. They shackle us and keep us from moving forward. That's a great one. There are several things that are the correct answer for that, right? We each alone have our own reason of why we typically don't sustain the goals we achieve. When it comes to weight, it typically is designed around stress. In fact, most reasons why people don't sustain the goals they achieve or even reach their goals is because a level of stress has inched its way into their life. And once that stress enters in, that is when the behaviors come in, right? So if you have self-doubt, you're about to leap forward into your career and you have a little bit of self-doubt, there's stress around that. There's a fear around it. And then that creates patterns of behavior, which leads to pantry diving, right? Or late night, staying up late at night, watching TV, messing up circadian rhythm. So many things start to come in that keep us from sustaining those goals. So I coach around the 3 brains approach. We have 3 brains, the head brain, the heart brain, and the gut brain. And I want to visit with you about these because we have 2 modes of operation. We have a fight or flight mode, which is known as the sympathetic stress response. And we have the relax and digest mode, rest and digest mode, which is the parasympathetic stress response. So if we are in a fight or flight mode, this is when we're feeling self-doubt. This is when we're feeling fear. This is when we're entering into something that we don't know how to do and we got to figure it out. We go into a fight or flight mode. When we go there, our body suffers, right? So our heart brain and our gut brain go to sleep. The highway is shut down. So don't eat during this time for sure. Our body fat increases and our lean tissue decreases. We have leaching of vital minerals and nutrients. We have a decrease of gut enzymes and healthy gut bacteria. This is our immune system, and the way the tummy chews up the food so that it can be digested is the enzymes. If you have a decrease in gut enzymes, then you don't chew up the food very well, and that food goes through your system whole versus digested, and that can cause leaky gut. It causes an inflammatory response, and it decreases your healthy gut bacteria. So it's not a pretty picture I'm painting. It causes wrinkles, y'all. The fight or flight response causes wrinkles. It causes us to age faster because free radicals are going through our body, chewing up all the good stuff. The inflammatory response, not only is it digestively, but it's also throughout every system. You have inflammation when you are in a fight or flight response. And we're not talking about the fight or flight response that's going to save your life. Yes, there are moments when we are so glad that we have the fight or flight response because we are able to think fast, move fast, Herculean strength so that we survive or save a loved one. However, how many times has that really happened now, right? We automatically go to this fight or flight when we're nervous about something, when we're frustrated, when we're irritated with someone, when we're angry, when we are insecure, when we're procrastinating, when we're worrying about something, when we have full-on anxiety. All of those states of being right there and feelings and emotions I just mentioned break down our physical being and create fatigue. When we feel that in our body, we do not function. We cannot serve in a really powerful magnetic way, and our life is shortened. So if we want a long life, if we want a life of freedom, a life of energy and vitality, if we want to do what we love, if we want to love the body we're living in, then we want to be in the relaxed state of being, the rest and digest operation. This is where we have full digestion assimilation. We mobilize fat for energy. We increase immune function, increase calorie burning power, increase oxygen capacity. All of this means that we are healthier and more vibrant. We have increased energy and vitality when we're in this relaxed, rest, and digest mode. So when we're looking at the three brains, if we're in a stress response, in this response right here, our head brain is running the show, and it's our ego mind. It's the fear mind that is running the show. The self-doubter that you have, that's the one that's running the show when you're in this mode. When you're in this mode, the higher version of you is showing up. The one that is centered from their heart and cares and has compassion and passion for what they do and for their life. When we come from our heart space, that is when the real you shows up. The real me shows up when we are in our parasympathetic state of operation, in the rest and digest mode, the relaxed mode. I just gave you 3 ways to think about this mode of operation. When we're there, that is when we come from our heart space. And when we come from the heart brain, that is when we are showing up fully as the highest version of us. Our gut brain is also awake during this time. So I'm about to take you through the 3 brains, and we will talk about each one, and you will be able to see which mode of operation they reside in. So first, I want to share with you how you can elevate your state. When we elevate our state, we're working with the head brain, because the head brain is the talker and it's the thinker. It is the body's boss. And when we're looking at this head brain, it's so fun to work with, because if you have a head brain that is just chit-chatting the night away, that likes to fill in the gaps, that doesn't like quiet because it talks all the time. So whenever you're trying to be mindful and quiet and zen, it wants to chit-chatter, right? That's the stress response. And when we're in this place, this is where we don't get the rest that we need, when our mind is really active, creating scenarios of untruth, overthinking things, right? So when we're going through our life has a certain pace. And the way that things can come together has a certain pace. And if we are going Mach 10 with our hair on fire in the stress response, then we're never giving life a chance to catch up with us and unfold in the way it's to unfold for whatever's going to happen that's going to be really, really good. If we're going really fast, we're trying to implement too many things all at once, and we miss out on opportunities. So in order to elevate our state, we want to master the stress in our life. Master the stress in your life. Think of all the things that you may be stressed about. And what stress is, remember, it can be really low level or it can be really high level. So the way you determine where you are in stress is, are there thoughts that you think over and over and over again? Is there any scenario in your life, any experience in your life that you replay over and over and over? Is there something that's always on your mind and you're worrying it, like you're holding something between your fingers and rubbing back and forth in worry? Is there something that you're worried about that you think about all the time, put too much thought towards? Do you ever feel that nervousness in your tummy? That's stress. If your eye twitches, that's stress. Mouth goes dry, that's stress. Low back pain, that's stress. Neck pain, stress. So if you have any of those, then you have a level of stress in your life. And if you're human, you've got stress, because there's not a human being alive that doesn't have stress. We all have it. We all experience it. There are some that master it much better than others. The second thing we must do is master the mind, the ego mind, the mind that wants to jump into the fear mode. Our head brain is awesome for problem solving, logical thinking, linear problem work, calendarizing, scheduling. Our head brain knows the body and sends out those messages of what it needs to do to move, to shake, to leap, to jump, to eat, to swallow, to digest. The head brain is the body's boss. We love that. However, if our mind starts running amok, then it gets us into trouble. And then we learn to master the moment. When we master the moment, that is when things open up. Time, if you used to have a shortage of time, now time will open up for you. You will have more than enough time to get everything done that you ever wanted to get done. When we master the moment, we live inside of the moment. We don't think ahead, we don't think behind, we think in the now. We think present. We be present. That's powerful, and that's how you elevate your state. So the tool that I want to teach you tonight to get out of that fast-paced living and slow down and get in the moment where you can experience some freedom is sensorial resilience. So right now, if you will, keep your eyes open and stare at something that is unmoving. That is one sense we're going to open up. And in sensorial resilience, we work with anywhere from 3 to all 6 senses, right? All at the same time. So tonight, I'm just going to invite you to focus in on 3 senses. The first one is what you see in front of you. Focus on that. You're going to be holding focus with the 3 together for about 30 seconds. So let's get the other 2 rolling. So we've got what you're looking at. Now, feel what your clothes feel like against your skin, and the seat that you're leaning into. Feel those against you, and feel that at the same time that you're looking at whatever it is you're looking at. And then what you're hearing. For the next 30 seconds, focus on all 3, the noises in your environment, what you're seeing, and what you feel against your skin. Go. Great job. How did that feel? Did you notice that when you went into that 30 seconds, your brain was moving really quick between the 3? And then did you notice all of a sudden your brain slowed down and you were able to be in the moment, and it's like time just expanded? And you were so focused on those 3, you didn't have time to be anywhere else but the present moment. Yeah, nice. If you're here with me live, be sure and feel free to type in the chat box anything that you would love to share. So the next key that I want to give you, the key element to reclaiming your life is living well. This is when we wake up the gut brain. When we wake up the gut brain, and to wake up the gut brain, so this is 3 things for you to wake up your gut brain, is to stop multitasking. It is so much fun. When I was a young mom, I was like, oh yeah, multitasking. I can get the kids snack and, talk to them about school and do something else all at the same time. Oh yeah, I get it all done. But that's, y'all, when we multitask, we don't do anything at 100%. So my kids didn't have 100% of my attention. And that's not fun when we don't give our kids 100% of the attention because we're so proud that we can multitask and get it all done at the same time. No, multitasking is for the birds, y'all. When we're multitasking, our gut brain is sleeping away. So do not do anything else but eat. When you eat, only eat. Do not multitask and answer emails, make memes, anything else. You can have a wonderful conversation that's non-stressed, a beautiful conversation with someone sitting at the table with you. That's connection, and that boosts your metabolism and your immune system. You can do that while you eat, but that's about the only thing. Stop late night eating. Do not late night eat anymore. When you're done with dinner, you're done with dinner, and there's no more eating after that. Circadian rhythm is huge when it comes to living well. You want to live well, you want to tap into your vitality tank, then I highly recommend you get in alignment, circadian rhythm alignment, and that will change your life. When you join up with any of my programs, whether it's the Ultimate Health Breakthrough System or the Armor Up or the one-to-one coaching, we go over circadian rhythm and get you into alignment with that because it is so important for your physical body. So vitally important. And then the third thing, stop missing the angel train. Get to bed at 10 o'clock. Don't miss the angel train anymore. Your body goes through so many beautiful cycles at night that are a must for your immune system, a must for the health and vitality of your body, and a must for your energy. You got to have it. So stop missing the angel train. We're going to wake up the gut brain by doing those 3 things. The power of rhythm is the tool I'd like to leave with you with tonight. And just some simple things around it. Rise early. Eat the bulk of your calories before 2 p.m. Go to bed on an empty stomach, meaning you eat dinner 3 to 4 hours before you ever go to bed. That's the last time you eat, 3 to 4 hours before you turn in at 10 o'clock, because at 10 o'clock is when the angel train leaves the depot and you want to be on it. All right. Third element I want to bring to you tonight is to step into the flow with the heart brain. When we lean into stillness, our heart brain thrives. Stillness. When was the last time you went into stillness and just was still? Feels so good just to be still. In Armor Up, I teach you a lot of things around stillness and how to bring that element into your daily life several times a day. We got to lean into that space between, y'all. The space between is the 7 blessed seconds that we have, that when a thought rolls through our mind, we have 7 seconds to bring it in or to rebuke it. So when we are slow, when we're leaning into stillness and we're leaning into the space between, we can catch the thought of self-doubt. We can catch the thought of, oh my goodness, I don't know how to do this. We can catch that and go, oh, wait a minute. No, I am fully equipped and fully resourced to handle this situation. I am fully equipped and fully resourced. That's the thought that you want to bring in and create the neural pathway around and the groove, right? Not around self-doubt and I don't know how to do this. We want to rebuke that and create the thought pattern and the thought flow for I am fully equipped and fully resourced to handle this and all situations, for sure. And then lean into your breath. Lean into your breath. Y'all, I have had clients come through the door through my door, Mach 10 with her hair on fire. This one young woman named Lisa came in just going full throttle. She was a flight attendant, and she had taken a leave of absence because of a death in the family. It was time for her to go back, but she had been on this leave of absence for a year, and she gained a lot of weight. And she wasn't able to go back to work until she lost 50 pounds. So she came through my door going, I got to go back to work, and I need you to get 50 pounds off of me. It's like, I mean, she is just, she was moving so fast. It was like, oh, wait a minute, girl. First thing we're going to do is slow you down and breathe. Breathe. And I began teaching her how to slow down and breathe, to get out of that Mach 10 with your hair on fire syndrome, that busy mind syndrome. Get out of those, and let's slow down and allow the heart brain to speak. And breathing, leaning into the breath. When we lean into the breath, we diaphragmatically breathe. That's the belly breathing. When we belly breathe, we tone the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is the longest nerve of the body. It starts at the base of the brain, and it comes down on either side of your neck, down through your chest, through the diaphragm, into the colon. This is your main parasympathetic nerve, which means it's your main rest and digest nerve, right? So if we tone that, what toning means is it's in condition. And if it's the parasympathetic nerve, the rest and digest nerve, that means if we have toned it, if we've conditioned it, if we've gotten it in shape, those are three ways of saying the same thing. If we've gotten it in shape, then that means that it will have more tendency to reside in that rest and digest state and not react in life. You know how when you drop your keys, you go, oh man, oh darn, whatever comes out of your mouth because you got to bend over and pick them up? That's a reaction. That's a reaction, right? And so when we tone the vagus nerve, get the nerve in shape, then we do not slide into that. We drop our keys and go, bummer, pick them up and move on our way. Or we don't even say bummer. We just go, oh well, and just carry on. There's no thought around it. So it's about when we go into an experience and that self-doubt used to come forward, once you resolve that with a tool and technique that I teach you, once you resolve that and you've been toning the vagus nerve at the same time, you will have no reaction to that self-doubt, because self-doubt won't exist, and you'll be able to move forward because you've toned your vagus nerve and you're not in a stress response. So you're fully equipped and fully resourced to handle that any and all situations. And whatever it is that you need will come to you. You'll find the answer. It's beautiful. So diaphragmatic breathing consists of a SLEDS method, which is slow, long, even, smooth, and deep. You want your breaths to be slow. You want them to be long. You want them to be even. So that means the inhale and the exhale are in sync. You want them smooth. So it's not a, right? You want it smooth, and you want it very deep and expansive. Deep meaning into the belly and expanding the belly, the diaphragm, right? Expanding the rib cage, the lungs, expanding, opening, right? So that's the SLED. So let's just do a couple. I believe we have time. Let's just do a couple together. So place your hand on your diaphragm, which is right where your rib cage kind of comes up to meet. Your diaphragm is right there in between your rib cage lobes, right? So when you breathe in, you focus on breathing to the belly. So drawing the air in so that the belly expands. So one way that I teach this is if you make a straw out of your tongue, like that, when you breathe through the straw of your tongue, it sends it straight down to the belly. I don't know how it does that, but it does. It's so cool. So let's do this first breath through the straw of our tongue. And you want to expand the lower portion of your body, and then fill up your lungs. And then exhale through your nose. Good. And again, breathe in through the tongue, expanding the belly, exhaling through the nose. Great. That is diaphragmatic breathing. And I advise you, I recommend, I encourage you to practice SLEDS breathing every night before you go to bed. You will sleep like a baby when you breathe this way before bed. If you want more information on the diaphragmatic breathing and toning the vagus nerve, join me on the 3 Brains Vitality Reboot. Let's see, I've got it here somewhere. Well, I'll show it to you in just a second. I thought it was the next slide, but it's not. But if you want to learn more about toning your vagus nerve, diaphragmatic breathing, join me on the 3 Brains Vitality Reboot Facebook group. 3 Brains Vitality Reboot Facebook group, and join me there. And I have done some videos that you can find in the video tab on diaphragmatic breathing. And you can also join us on the next free event that I do through the Facebook group called 3 Brains Vitality Reboot. So announcements go on that group of when the next one will be. All right. So many times my clients have asked me, why is it that you do what you do? What about it drew you? And it's because I want to have fun, love, and freedom. After the anxiety years that I had and all the worrying I did as a child, all I wanted was peace, to have peace within me and to have fun in my life, to be unencumbered, to feel love, to give love and be love, and to just experience the freedom. Whether it's financially free, which yes, I want to be financially free. I want to be that unencumbered free, the kind of free that comes when you love really, really big. That's freedom. When you are not shackled by anything external in life, that you're only connected internal, that's freedom. Armor Up is about finding that strength within so that the external world cannot influence your internal world. That's what it's all about. We transform the body-mind, we manifest our heart's desire, and we accelerate our results. So some of you may have looked at Armor Up before. Some of you have experienced Armor Up, and some of you have never seen it. So I love to show what you will get from taking this course. You're going to have unlimited possibilities for life. You're going to find that you are no longer a victim of circumstance, that you create your reality, you create your future, and you are fully equipped and fully resourced to be able to do that. You're going to know how to move past stress, fear, and anxiety. Anything that encumbers you in your life, you're going to know how to move past it. You will have tools that will help you rise above. You're going to have a healthy body. If you've had trouble living at your body's ideal natural weight, you're going to learn the secret to being able to do that. If you have had gut and digestive issues during your life anytime, you are going to learn how to heal that gut. You're going to learn the magic power behind things that you can do, not necessarily things you have to take. Of course, supplements and the food that we eat support our vitality and the vibrancy of our gut health. However, there are also things, states of being that you can be in that help your gut heal. You're going to learn how to master your stress. Yes. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Sorry, y'all. All right. It's a quick start activation program, and it is 12 weeks. We have live coaching calls each one of those weeks. We have access to the Facebook Live or Facebook VIP group where I do Facebook Lives each week. You have access to 9 meditations to help you along your journey. You have an item each and every day that you can do that will help you transform, manifest, and accelerate your results. You do. We just started an Armor Up training last week. So if you are interested and want to jumpstart, you can jump in right now. Within the next week, we keep the doors open. So I still have some spaces available if you would love to get in on Armor Up this go around. Otherwise, the next go around is in the summer, but we have room. Yes. So text the word balance to 26786 if you would like more information on this program and on me. Get all the lowdown on me. Or you can just enroll at Armor Up, ashleytorian.com/armor-up/. And it's showing right there on your screen as well. And I believe I'm going to give you another moment with that. It's texting the word balance to 26786, and you can enroll. If you already know, hey, this is what I want to do, I need this, then go ahead and enroll at the Armor Up webpage, ashleytorian.com/armor-up/. And then connect with me on Facebook, where I do my free 3 Brains Vitality Reboot. The Facebook group name is right there, 3 Brains Vitality Reboot. Just look at that up in Facebook and ask to be invited to join the group, answer those qualifying questions, and you are in. You are in. All right. It has been a pleasure to be with you this evening. Thank you so much for joining me. And I look forward to seeing you and helping you in any way that I can. Thanks, everybody.